everyone, Death's Advocate here for my usual Sunday showcase stream. Today we're going to be playing with Dinos. They have gotten a lot of changes recently, but I think they're really fun and really cool where they're at right now. They were briefly a little too strong, or we had the Diner, tournament winner, which was not necessarily too strong, but like its high roll potential was too crazy. Then they got reworked, and they were a little crazy briefly, but right now I think they're perfect. Like they're fun, cool, they're pretty strong. And there's a few different approaches you can take to it. Today I'm doing a very Dino Light version with ninjas, which I think is the best version right now, but more dedicated dinos in other colors is certainly viable. But ninjas, they add some very cool things to the deck. Their bounce engine has a lot of synergy with what we have going on here, and that lets us play extra velociraptors and a few other tricks that I'll cover in a minute here. So while we're running a pretty minimalistic dino package in this deck, there are more dinos than it appears thanks to how ninjas complement it. I've tried, a handful of other versions, but did a good amount of testing on this, and this is where I've landed as what I believe will be final draft for now. So let's really dig into what we have going on here. So we've skipped a lot of the dino cards. We're only running Velociraptor, Pterodactyl, Magmasaur, and Tyrannosaur. These are, the primo dino cards. They're, the strongest ones. Velociraptor, Pterodactyl, and Tyrannosaur is actually a little package that can fit into pretty much any deck. But adding Magmasaur to the mix really ups our consistency. So again, we don't really need things like Dinosaur Nest because again, half this deck's game plan is reusing our dinosaurs repeatedly. And we're not really going all in like on the mounted Triceratops approach or anything like that. I tried Baby in here, but we don't have a lot of room or extra synergy for it, so I really just went with this minimalistic package, because what you want to do, again, bounce Velociraptors or the other really cool tricks that you can do is because of how replace works with Berserk. So Berserk, you end your turn, it gets to act immediately. It comes back to your turn, they act again at the end of your opponent's turn. And now you can replace that Berserk unit that you can't control with a Mooncaster. So you get a giant Mooncaster off of that Tyrannosaurus, and now Mooncaster gets to act immediately now that the Berserk is gone. And then, of course, you can play the Tyrannosaur again for him to act once more at the end of that turn. It's very cool. And, of course, just bouncing Magmasaur is also very valid. The bounce engine is also just serving as kind of a toolbox for us. Do we need a bunch of healing versus burn? Okay, we'll bounce Shaman a whole lot of times. Do we need more building destruction? Okay, Mordecai Jr. Do we need more dispel? Do we want to... Oh, right, speaking of, bouncing Tyrannosaur with a big Mooncaster, Mooncaster Sakya has been kind of like a mainstay of ninjas as a whole. You play Sakya and you replace her with a Mooncaster, and you get just a big charging Mooncaster and to do that same combo again later. Of course, despite that we're not running like a dedicated dino list, we are still running Evolution because it's a very powerful card. More often than not, what we do with this card is we just kind of use it as an extra Tyrannosaur. We just use it with a single dino on the field to level up a Velociraptor or a Pterodactyl straight to Tyrannosaur. But of course, when things go well, you can, of course, get a couple dinos out and really maximize this. This evolution also works with Joff. You can turn Lieutenant Joff into Joanvive and then bounce that Joanvive, so now you're a Joanvive bounce list. So evolution does some very cool things. The main thing we use it for, again, is a cheaper extra Tyrannosaur, but it can do all kinds of other very cool things going on here. So we've got a real nice control package between Dissipate, Omei, Blaze, Pterodactyl, extra Pterodactyls from Velociraptor. Dissipate also lets us, stall versus Screams. It's really fun, highly synergistic deck that's got, you know, a nice little toolbox and answers for everything. So I think that's enough talking about it. Let's see if we can find a game or two. I'm really been enjoying the list. I think it's got a lot of potential here. Oh yeah, so post nerf shaman. I really I love shaman as the 3 cost 3/4. That was my favorite. I liked him even more. I didn't like him more, but I liked him a lot as I didn't really like him as a 1/3, but I was still running him just out of heal desperation. And I liked him as a 2/2 cost, and I'm not a huge fan of him as 1 cost, but it works really well here, because the Gorilla package will now search out our more important bounce units rather than Shaman polluting it, and 1 cost makes him even easier to do bounce tricks with. So he still works really well here. I'm going to be running him a lot less overall, but he works really well here. Anyways, I didn't talk about my starting hand there, so let me try to do that a little bit. Basically, I just kind of threw away everything because really I'm just looking for early game plays or some of our big combos. You know, like we're always trying to find evolution because the earlier you play an evolution, the better. The later the game goes on, the less devastating it is unless you get lucky and get like the multi-field evolve going on. So we're pretty happy with this. We like Mooncasters. They're very nice in general. We're just going to hang tight, see what Jay does. Either we'll just play a peasant, or if he puts a lot of pressure on us, we'll coin into the Kai Jr. Okay, so he is putting the pressure on. Yeah, so I wanted to play a peasant, but, you know, he's kind of forcing our hand. We're going to throw out this Kai just to defend us. While buildings can be a concern in these colors, you know, between school or dragons or sometimes even lava font. The fact that we're seeing like a Beastmaster suggests to me that Jay is just playing kind of a mid-rangey aggro list. He's just trying to really keep the pressure on, and that is often his style as a player. You know, he tries to say it's not aggro, and I'm like, Jay, that is, it's not rush, but it's aggro. You are playing aggressive tempo, and that is just kind of your jam these days. Although traditionally, okay, he's even fully admitting it this time. He's like, nah, this is just straight up aggro, no cap. All right, so my hand is kind of awkward right now. It's really not worth dispelling anything. It may just be peasant time. I could Mooncaster, but I'm going to save that for later. Because yeah, maybe I should have Mooncastered my Kai Jr. just so I could get another fat body in hand, but we'll see. Yeah, Beastmaster is a very scary aggro card. Ooh, Mantis. Oh, maybe he's doing like good old baby Dinos Mantis sacrifice. Okay, he's got some cool stuff going on there. Alright, yeah, I really should have Mooncastered last turn because now my hand is still awkward. I was really hoping, you know, I'd draw into curve because this deck's got a really good curve. It's got tons and tons of low end, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. I should have played it safe and Mooncastered my Kai Jr. just so I'd have some extra, you know, meat to block with. I really don't want to have to play a naked Mooncaster, but you know, my hand may be about to get forced here. Yeah, with how aggressive he's being, yeah, we're gonna have to do everything we can to try and stay alive for this early push here, especially with how awkward our hand is. Luckily, again, you know, if we find a shaman, we'll be able to recoup a lot of our lost health, but right now we are just really struggling with the amount of meat he's throwing out there, which, you know, normally we have a similar amount ourselves, but, you know, sometimes things just don't always work out. We're doing okay despite our really awkward hand here. We're just trying to stabilize. And if we can stabilize, we'll probably be okay. Because, once we get to like bounce shaman territory, we're not too worried about getting burned out in the end game. But we need to survive long enough for him to. Yeah, surviving these first few turns, especially with this awkward hand, is going to be really tough. Okay, well at least he's given us something that's worth dispelling. These extra heals in hand, those will be very nice. So, and this is not how we normally play the deck, just throwing out our replace units willy-nilly, but, we're just doing the best with the bad hand we were dealt with, as well as the matchup we're in. Alright, well this is kind of the end of his push. If we survive this, we're in good shape. But it's gonna be close here. And we're just continuing to play all of our combo cards defensively, which is, it's awkward, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And that is always an option, which is why, the Mooncaster nerfs, that everyone looked at was like, well, that did nothing, which is kind of true, but no, it definitely matters, because there are situations like this, or when Dispel comes in mind, that, ooh, that Strength of Will Lava Giant, unless we draw another Dispel or Nomaiwa, we are done here. I think with, a more average hand, we would have been fine. We just had a really slow hand, and this is the worst matchup possible for that to happen in. But we're okay. Ooh, maybe do we do? Okay, so I need to math out here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm exactly dead on field. But if I get myself a nice little T-Rex out here, that will kill something on field and we'll survive. Our alternative is to try and heal, but I think we need to go for the evolution, get that T-Rex out, and it's going to be close. If he has any burn in his hand, if we survive this turn, I think we will recover and win. If he draws some burn or another buff, or if T-Rex decides to go after the angel and he gets a lucky angel spawn, that's it. But if we survive this turn, I think this is our game. Okay, went for the angel. Do we get? Oh, okay. Ooh, oh right, but Berserk. The Mantis is not active. We're okay. So him going for the angel is actually the best result for us this turn. He just unfortunately got the best spawn he could get out of it. So it's still going to be, that little bit of luck there does mean we're in a little bit of danger still, but we may recover. Those Dwarven weapons are really messing us up. This Mantis spawn, we are in trouble. Well, okay, so I've gotta do some healing. This may be over. Our slow start was just a little too slow for us. If we get lucky and Tyrannosaur is kind enough to kill that Mantis for us, we may still be in, but otherwise we are in a lot of trouble. Am I just dead either way? Oh wait, okay, this right, the Velociraptor is Berserk. Okay, so we still have a chance. I should have played it down here to give me another opportunity to kill that Mantis. With that in mind, we're going to at least maximize our opportunity for Tyrannosaur to kill this Mantis. And I had a way to play this slightly better too, but I was still in danger just from what he's got on board here. Like, alright, time for luck. Ooh, that was the worst. Okay, well the Mantis went, okay, that... Alright, unfortunately I'm still dead, but it was a pretty close game. Like, despite how terrible my hand was, and despite my little misplay in that last moment there, we very nearly ended up being okay. So, I think that shows, like, even with misplays and a bad hand, you can still handle your own even against something that aggressive. little unfortunate that our first showcase game went so poorly here, but you know, that's okay. Okay, we're up against Unity, our resident dino lover. So he's on the blue version, which is much that's the really aggressive, more all-in dino package, which is solid, but you know, I don't like aggro, I'm not an aggro player, and it's the type of deck that if you're not prepared for, or if it gets lucky, you're in trouble, but it's not as consistently good as this ninja version, which kind of does well all around. Okay, well, our hand's a little bit better this game. You know, we've got a gorilla fighter, so we'll be able to stave off some early rush. We've got the evolution play, you know, okay. This is already going a little bit better for us than it did in Jay's game. Early Yarm combo with the baby dino, perfectly valid. Okay, so now I have to decide, do I want to spend my gorilla fighter now? Because it's not a clean trade there, but I think it's the best bet still. It's not ideal, but it's what we're going to do. You know, a little bit of draw always. You know, not being able to tutor Shaman with Gorilla anymore is a little bit of a double-edged sword. Like, on one hand, our other targets are generally way more important, but it was nice being able to dig up a Shaman in, you know, more aggressive burn matchups, especially when you can just replace the Gorilla Fighter a couple times to find that Shaman. But, you know, overall I think that's fine, because finding our more important units, we need those more than Shaman. Shaman usually is just kind of our late game security to not die to burn. This is a bit of a tough choice here. So Stegosaurus I prefer more, but I have Dino Evolution in my hand, so we're going to go for the baby Dino as a really nice turn 6 T-Rex. Going to go ahead and bounce this Raptor too, so a little more dinos and a better clean trade here. Yeah, the turn 6 T-Rex is a very nice little play here. It's probably going to be, and if we're really lucky, Magmasaur will survive the turn, and we'll get the duo evolution going on here. So far, looking promising. I'm going to midline the Magmasaur in case he plays a a taunt unit, which I'm not expecting. Well, he does. He probably has Dwarven Revenger in this list. Well, not probably. It's a possibility. Like Revenger. Okay, well, so much for our double Evo play. That does mess us up a bit there, but I think we're still going to be going the evolution turn here, unless we might do a Sayaka play instead. Maybe it's not a clean trade there. I think just the Evo play is still our best bet here, because that will still activate the Magmasaur with the T-Rex soon. So I think this is our best bet. Clean-ish trade to that Gorgon. And I wonder. Okay, so he does lose his Oh no, he doesn't lose his activation. Okay, so that actually worked out really well. This is that beautiful turn 6 play that's really hard to deal with. New Lava Font. I missed the 2-cost Lava Font, but the new one's pretty valid as well. Oh, it does 3 damage now. Okay, never mind. The new Lava Font might be even better. He managed to successfully answer our very nasty push there, so good for him, good for him. Okay, so we have one Pterodactyl in hand. We really don't need another. We're up against reds, so that's a lot of burns. We do want just some meat in the end game. I think I am going to go ahead and dispel this here before it causes any problems for us. I now do have to decide whether I want to No, we're just going to play the other Velociraptor. It's a much cleaner play and gives us a chance at another Pterodactyl anyways. Speaking of which, tough choice here. So Magmasaur's the better choice in general, but Pterodactyl is important depending on the matchup. But I don't think there's anything else we really need to desperately dispel in these colors. You know, we're not worried about Sakia or something like that. So I'm going to take the Magmasaur. We do still have another Pterodactyl in our deck, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, we're not out of dispel either. So we're going to just take the better pick for now. Hopefully he doesn't have a clean Blaze answer, but strong chance he does. Ooh, Wyvern Rider. That is not better than Blaze for him, since I can cleanly just kill the Wyvern Rider here. Do I want to do some bouncing, though? I think I do. I think let's get this Pterodactyl back in our hand in case we need another dispel. And decision time. I think we're... Okay, so we're going to take this trade here. We're going to run the Sakia down frozen, but that's okay because we're fully planning on replacing this Sayaka. I don't know. I should start calling her Yuna. Yuna is so much easier to say than her first name there, but I don't know. Now we have opened ourselves up to getting Yarm Lightninged. However, he did use one of those early on, so it's less likely that he has that. You know, but hopefully we'll be able to just get a funky, and since replaced gets rid of, you know, Berserk and Freeze, this is a really nice play. So if we're lucky, she lives, and the odds are in our favor for her to live. And now we've got the Shaman in our hand. We're really not worried about the late game burn either, because if we fall to like the 10-ish range health where we start to be in danger of like the Yarm Ragnar combo, we can top ourselves off with some heal bounce. Looks like she survives. Very good deal for us. Now we get a beautiful Mooncaster play, leaving him active right away. Although now we do need to decide how we want to utilize this. I'm leaning towards... Well, okay, I think I'm going to play the Brontosaurus first, and depending on where that pushes the Magmasaur, if it pushes it down, we'll take the trade. If it pushes it up or back, we'll force him to make the trade. So we're going to do a little orange. Oh, okay, awkward. I missed my opportunity to attack Castle now, but that's okay. You know, I really wanted to kill the depot with Blaze, but we're just going to go ahead and take the value while we can, still force him to make that trade. Ooh, we pulled a Tyrannosaur from him. That might have been the best pull we could have got. Especially with a big ol' fat Brontosaurus on the field. Okay, well we still end up with a pretty clean Blaze turn here. Ooh, the Berserk. And the Berserk walks right through that now too, I believe. That hurts. Ouch! Okay, we are now officially in danger range. So I think Blaze is probably our best bet. I think Blaze... And then we can force the Gorgon to trade into a peasant, but it does leave our bottom defense a little awkward if we do that. Okay, I think we're going to do... Alright, so we'll force this here. And then Sakya, not ideal to play her right now, but you know, it's what we're going to do. So we're going to hope the Gorgon trades into the Peasant. If we're unlucky, it'll trade into the Brontosaurus. I don't actually know how this priority works, so I don't know if this is a 50-50 chance here, or if it's guaranteed to go for the Peasant. But either way, even if it trades into the Brontosaurus, that's fine. Our health is officially in, you know, Ragnar danger range, so we're going to start trying to reserve some heal bouncing here. I don't have any more bounce in my hand currently. Well, I do have the Dissipate, but well, hold on. Let's do some math here. So if Ragnar comes... Oh, okay. We are no longer worried about the Ragnar Yarm combos, because that is both Yarm Lightnings. Our health is in dangerous territory here, but I don't think he has enough out-of-hand burn to mess us up, so we're going to hold on to this Shaman for now until we can bounce it safely, because we don't want to throw it out and then lose it to some random burn. I don't think he can do 8 out-of-hand damage. Alright, anyway, so I think it's double Magmasaur followed by Tyrannosaur time. Because he's playing blue, we do need to play around Frost Whirl. I absolutely went for the Peasant over his castle, just because there's all kinds of funky things that can go wrong by leaving a unit alive versus these colors. Is my audio still working? My headset cut out for a moment there. Testing audio. Well, somebody let me know if my audio is still working. Testing, testing. I think so. Well, anyways, back to the game at hand. Alright, I still think our Eye of Flame's tempting, though. I think we're going to save our Eye of Flame. Yeah, Eye of Flame's very tempting. Yeah, it's too good of a field not to Eye of Flame. Although I did mess that up, I should have attacked the baby dino first. Mistakes have been made. Because that is both Yarm Lightnings. Our health is in dangerous territory here. My technical difficulties distracted me. I'm going to just blame it on that. I should have cleared the baby dino first, but alas, it happens. Okay, it all worked out. It actually worked out better not clearing the baby dino. Ooh. And we're still setting up for a very scary Tyrannosaurus play here. Hey Ratlord, thanks for stopping by. I have done a lot of work on the rat decks. They're no longer broken, but they are still a lot of fun, and they're in a pretty decent spot now. We might even just have game from this Tyrannosaur play. Now that we have an extra Shaman in hand, we're going to go ahead and just risk one of them here. I think it's just game over. Let's see here. So, the worst case scenario is Magmasaur kills this Hull of Frost, Tyrannosaur kills this Stegosaurus, and Magmasaur kills leaves the castle with 1 health. That's the worst case scenario. With that in mind, I cannot think of any way you can do 10 damage out of hand without the Ragnar combo, so we're just going to save that Shaman play just in case something funky happens next turn. Alright, so far... Okay, so worst case scenario happened, but like, that's fine. We have a commanding position and a commanding lead. So let's go ahead and queue right back up here. Certainly having fun with the list so far. While I'm in queue, I'm going to be right back though. Ooh, almost missed my mulligan. Alright, we like Mooncastle because it's a lot of combo cards for us. Gorilla Fighter, we love seeing early game. Other two cards, not so much. What colors have I found best? So I've been leaning more and more towards the blue-purple version. You know, I had been favoring the green version, but... And I'm not sure if there's a clear best. There's some... There are different options, but not a clear best. So do we want... Okay. So with Yuna in our hand, we're going to save this coin. I was tempted to coin into the gorilla, but coin Yuna is such a nice little early game combo. Yeah, the 13-13 turn 4 Rat Kings were a little silly. He's in a good place now, though. Alright, do I want to do the Yuna combo? If I save it for later, we'll get it with the Mooncaster, which is probably what we want to do. I think we just want to do a backline gorilla. This way, Green Drake can't trade with the gorilla, and this also means Privateer is just kind of stuck without any targets unless he's got a out-of-hand answer for gorilla here. The new Curse of Death, which apparently even old Curse of Death will kill Yuna before her buff goes off. This is very unfortunate. If we're lucky, he didn't get either of these, but if he got one of these, that could be kind of devastating for us. So I still want to save the Yuna play for the turn that I can play her, Coin, and Mooncaster all at once. So for this turn, we're just going to be... We could do either Velociraptor and Peasant or Kai Jr. Considering the colors we're up against, man, the cannons and Daggerstorm are a very big concern. So while Velociraptor and Peasant are a cleaner use of our gold, Kai Jr. is a much better option for the matchup we're in. And next turn we have a nice little Yuna combo, unless of course he murdered her with that curse. Okay, there's the Daggerstorm, so we're very glad we didn't go for Raptor and Peasant. Alright, fingers crossed that we do not lose our Yuna immediately. Hey, we still got her. Good deal. So we've got a clean trade here, a respectable trade here, and Yuna back in our hand for... Oh! Interesting. He went after the Mooncaster. Well, I'm still happy. I still have my Yuna around for later, so I'm good. At least it wasn't the Wotan. We're just very happy it wasn't Wotan or Sayaka. Cursed it. I've been talking about it. So at this point we might lose the Una, but that's okay. We've gotten a lot of value out of her, and we've got plenty of other fancy tricks up our sleeve. RNG Rider hurts. We don't have a lot of... Oh, well, we've got the Magmasaurus. We do at least have a nice clean answer. Get rid of that. Protect our trading post. Oh, Dino's great. They're in the perfect spot right now. They're strong, they're fun, they're exciting, and they're not broken. I'm very happy with where Dinos are at right now. Supply Depot. I don't know why I call it Trading Post. Was it called Trading Post at some point in the beta? And if both posts are used, there is some trading. Got a very nice little, very clean trade here. No value for that Robins. Ooh, Swordsman, nasty. I think we're probably just going to do... Ooh, can we... I think this results in a T-Rex and a Brontosaurus. I think we're pretty good with that. Let's see here. Pterodactyl. Is there, we do need to be worried about a crab. Okay, but we have a... Ah, yes, not enough gold indeed. I have Pterodactyl in hand, so we're going to go for the Brontosaurus, and I'm bad at math, so I guess we're just doing just a T-Rex, which is fine. That's all we really need. I do appreciate it, Jay. Yeah, there is the smallest chance that I may have played the Pterodactyl and then been very angry and been blaming the stream at me not doing math. Now, if we're lucky, Tyrannosaur will survive and we'll get you a very fancy Wotan play. T-Rex will not survive, but that's okay. Interesting. It may just be time for Brontosaurus. Like, we don't really have anything else. So, let's clean that off. Throw out a Brontosaurus where it blocks the swordsman play on our depot. And peasant time. Saving this pterodactyl in case of a giant crab. That's a well-timed Shindaru. Perhaps I should have dissipated and Wotan instead, but I'm also just good with leaving Brontosaurus around for the moment. I think we'll do a little cheeky badger play here just for some draw. I don't really want to, Wotan the Brontosaurus either, because that's a lot of gold to have to spend again. Unless it gets really low on health. Like if Brontosaurus gets down to like 4 or less health, then I'll consider doing it. But I'd much rather Wotan a badger. Okay, end of days. I'm not worried about burn in this matchup, so I am just going to be throwing this shaman out. Do we want to play mortar? It's kind of awkward, but when else are we going to do it? So I'm often more aggressive against supply depots, but since this deck has Blaze, I usually just let the Blaze take care of it. Ooh, are we going to a nice little Wotan Jr. play here? Maybe not. We'll see. And no, this is an Eye of Flame turn. Although, is it an Eye of Flame turn? Like, we kind of want to save that for Leviathans. The cleave though makes it. Yeah, I think we're going to take the Eye of Flame turn. It's not perfect, but you know what? I can live with that. We have a dissipate. Eye of Flame will put on some pressure, and we want to really take advantage of this cleave while we have the opportunity. Ah, bad flowers. Now this. Okay, never mind. They are still going to go cleanly trade off. Okay, that worked out fine. It may be Wotan Pterodactyl time. We're going to see what happens here. It's probably going to be... I don't know yet. Okay, so we're probably Pterodactyl the Knight. Ooh, Joff. Joff is much cleaner than Pterodactyl. Besides, we really wanted to save the Pterodactyl for emergency crab, just in case. Sadly, we did not get the 1 extra gold we needed for the Wotan play this turn, but that's okay. Maybe I go ahead and do the Kunoichi play here. Is that worth doing? Or maybe I just trade? I don't know. Really not worried. Well, we know this is moving here no matter what. And we know we're playing this peasant. Now it's just a question of, are we leaving ourselves open to man the cannons? No, I don't want to leave myself open to man the cannons. Let's just clear that off just to be safe. I probably should have dissipated that Leviathan earlier, because dissipate on the 5 gold Leviathans is a lot less effective. But, it's fine. Another end of days. I think we're just doing another cheeky little badger play here for some draw. Do we want a Magmasaur? Yeah, I think we do. Magmasaur. That's both end of days used, so he has no clean ways. Short of like Dagger Storm and Man the Cannons together, he's got no good answers to these 4 health units. And this Wotan Magmasaur is a Very nice little play there. We are quickly approaching Leviathan spam time, so we need to try and keep this pressure up. Okay. I wonder how intentional it was for him to play around the Wotan there. Might be doing... This is a little awkward now, that cleave. I think our best bet's probably trade with the Magmasaur, bounce the Magmasaur, play the Magmasaur again, and now I'll be frustrated with this cleave unit. Do we... Yeah, no, let's keep the peasant out of cleave range here. We're just going to save that gold for now. There's really no benefit in playing this extra peasant at the moment. There's the cannons. Ooh, a baptism. And he's really making sure we can't get a clean Wotan play. Awkward. Nothing worth bouncing. I mean, we still may just like bounce a peasant. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Very awkward. I suppose we could dispel. Okay, I think that's our play. We'll dispel the cleave, bounce the spell back to the hand for later, get a nice little beefed up Wotan, and hope he doesn't, like, he could be running the armor kill combo, but, you know, this lets us, with the Dissipate and Blaze in hand, this lets us threaten a lot of castle damage. And with the End of Days gone, he doesn't have a good clean answer to that. I take it back. Minotaur is a perfectly clean answer to that. And now we're starting to hurt for win conditions. We may be in trouble now. Because we are out of pretty much all of our big plays. I might still have a regular T-Rex in the deck though, so maybe we're alright. Yeah, I usually like to save Wotan for the turn I can actually attack castle immediately, but our hand was too awkward. We could play a Blaze now. It's not great. No, I don't think it's worth playing a Blaze right now. I don't know if we have any 2-drops left in our deck, but I'm going to find out. We do not, so that was not worth doing. That being said, the deck out risk is kind of high right now, so not drawing might be for the best. Yeah, we're in trouble now. Like he had the answers at every moment here, and he's still got Joan-Vives and Leviathans, so we might not be winning this game, unfortunately. I don't think there was anything that I really did wrong, but you know, it just doesn't always work out. Kind of have to save that for Leviathans. No, unfortunately, we may not be winning this game, which is a shame. This deck has been performing really well for me, but yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out. I think Blaze might be just the only thing we can do right now. It's not great, but it is what we have, because we have to save this for a Leviathan or a Joan-Vive. It's nothing worth dispelling, and we're still kind of afraid of Crab, and dissipating either of these is counterproductive. Now this game may unfortunately already be a foregone conclusion. I'm trying to think if there's anything I could have really done differently, and I don't think so. I think he just had the right answers on the right turns, and sometimes that happens. The only thing I might have been able to do differently is really hold on to that Wotan and use it as a clutch game ender. but I didn't expect him to have a clean answer because I just kind of forgot about Minotaur. Despite that, it's a pretty solid card that I run in ramp decks very frequently. There's that crab. Ouch! We spent all this time saving this pterodactyl for it, and now we're just going to Omewa Shindra. Well, I think I'm just dead no matter what, unfortunately. My only hope is extreme mortar luck on this captain. I mean, I could play it safe and like dissipate one of these, but then I'm definitely going to lose. Like my only chance right now is to get lucky with this mortar. Oh, okay, I got lucky with the mortar. Still looking pretty bad. I don't think I'm going to recover. I think I still have a T-Rex. Dissipate's an amazing card. It can bounce your own unit. It can really set your opponent back on tempo, and it stalls screams. Love the card. It's in here mostly for screams. Anyways, I have a work call to take. Love Dissipate. Good screams counter, good tempo card, or just bouncing your own stuff in a pinch. Like, love Dissipate. Okay. Oh, right, he stole that Magmasaur ages ago. Oh well. Yeah, it happens. You can't win them all. The deck has been performing really well for me, but sometimes things just don't work out. Okay, we've got the nice early evolution. I want to look for a cheaper dino than Magmasaur, though. I'm just going to hang tight. You know, we'll either Peasant or we'll Guerrilla Fighter, depending on what he does here. I like saving my coin to use with Sayaka when possible. Ooh, and there she is. There she is. We might just be Peasant play. We may just accept some damage to our face here. And to hopefully set up a decent Una play soon. So yeah, we've got the Metal Una Mooncaster play, which really goes a long way. So we're going to sacrifice some health, which is a little risky in this matchup, but that's okay. I might just have to use the Una now, though, which is a little unfortunate. But it's the cleanest trade that I have. Guerrilla Fighter. Yeah, we're just gonna have to sacrifice the Una besides. We've got lots of cool things that we can do with Mooncaster instead. The reason I backlined that is just on the off chance he's got a bunch of buffs for that baby dino. I think the deck's current downfall is it does have a limited amount of win conditions, so need to consider that. I think it has enough, but we'll take a look after we're done for the day, see if there's any room for improvement. But I tested it a lot yesterday, and it was doing pretty well for itself. May not be ideal to be spending an Ome on that, but leaving it alive was too dangerous. Yeah, the on curve is really nice. That being said, that means you need to play like Baby Dino, but I don't know, I didn't like the Baby Dino in here. I tried it out, that's for a different, more dedicated Dino list. Here, the only thing I might consider is maybe throwing in something else on the high end. But I think the deck's just in a good spot, and we've just had a little bit of misfortune today. Is the Blaze worth doing? Oh no, the Joff is worth doing, and then we'll see where the Joff leads us. Do I Mooncaster this Joff? Or do I save my goal? I think I Mooncaster the Joff. Bouncy Joffs can be very fun. Oof. He is definitely putting the hurt on here. Ow! I am in danger. Alright, Jaw. Save me. I need to find that healing stat, because he's got a lot of... This match may unfortunately already be over. Blaze is pretty clean here. Now we just pray he doesn't have burn before we can find our Shaman, which we used to be able to tutor out pretty reliably, but unfortunately it's one cost now. Uh-oh. Halls can result in a lot of burn. Ah, there it is. Oh, well, not having good luck today, which is a shame. It was performing very well for me yesterday. But, you know, that happens. It's still a fun deck. I still think it's really good and about as good as it can get. And, you know, bad luck happens sometimes. Alright, Raptor we like seeing early. Dissipates much more late game. I think we want to hold on to the Mooncaster because there's lots of tricks we can do with that. And as much as I was just defending Dissipate, it is like the only card in the deck that's like really flexible. It's the most recent addition because I do really like it, and I was having trouble against Scream stacks, and it was our best solution to that. But if I can find a more proactive win condition, I might consider replacing it, but we're just getting really good cues today, so I don't have time to go stare at the deck. I suppose I could consider going back to more of the dedicated Dino Shell too, you know, giving up a little bit of the defense if we dropped Shaman for Baby Dino and Dissipate for Triceratops. You know, now we've got the Dino curve back for those early high rolls. We may have to consider that, you know. The Shaman change has changed the deck. Like, Shaman was a big part of why I built the deck how it was, because it was very much, you could tutor it and abuse it. I built it to be a toolbox deck. It was very much a, you know, Swiss Army knife, bounce the tools that you need for the moment, and everything worked perfectly. But Shaman to 1 just kind of changes the entire dynamic. I'm nervous to run without Shaman, though, because then I will be lacking heal of any kind. Alright, so we're up against Beastly, running Beast Lightning probably. We do need Dispels for Maldrin, Ragnar, maybe a Frost Temple. Stegosaurus is pretty solid though, but I think we're going to take the pterodactyl just to be safe. And I do need to re-examine the deck after the shaman change. Like it seemed like an innocuous change, but it is actually pretty significant. Very aggressive beast deck from Beastly. How appropriate. A little bit of awkward turn here. Blaze may be our best bet. I'm leaning more and more towards retooling the deck a little bit more away from its toolboxy approach and back into more dinos. We'll take a break from Q to re-examine things after this game, because the shaman change was it's a much bigger impact than I was expecting. And it may not look like it, but it's noticeable. Yeah, just that early dino curve is really nice. And I think maybe just leaning more back into its proactive side over the toolbox control angle, it may be the best way to go. Not often that I end up changing a deck up on stream here, but I enjoy deck building, so that's fine. Alright, our hand continues to be kind of awkward here, but we can at least do like a Shaman Badger play here. Not perfect, but not bad. I could coin, but I think we're just gonna hang tight for the moment. I'd like to keep the Shaman just because I really like the ability to do bounce heals, but we'll have to look. Like, Dissipate very well may be on the chopping block because I was mostly saving it for late game anti-screams and Maldron and that kind of thing, but if we're just much more aggressive, then we don't need that as much. Nice little Freya play here, which means I will not get the clean flower answer, unfortunately. Oh, I think there's no doubt about it, we're playing Joff here. Big gold. Lost an important card, but that's okay. Could do a Mooncaster play. Well, no, we don't want a Mooncaster now. I think Kunoichi's better. So I think we're going to do Kuno. Normally it's got pretty good comeback power between Blaze and stuff, but yeah, I think I may need to retool it a little bit here to be a little more proactive. Alright, so put Joff back. Oh, interesting. Kunoichi is active. Something is off there. That's not right. Why is she able to attack? She shouldn't have been. I think that might have been a bug. think that was a bug. No, yeah, I think switching it back over to a little more proactive dino focus will probably be the way to go. We'll take a look after this match. And we know we can trade out Dissipate. I'd like to keep the Shaman if possible. I'm having trouble thinking of another good swap out, but we'll take a look. We'll take a look. No play on turn 7 from Beastly. That's odd. Well, our hand is extremely awkward ourselves, though. Would be a real nice time to find a blaze. That is not a blaze, nor do we have enough gold to dig it up either. But we're still going to do just a cheeky badger play, see if we can dig up something a little more useful. That does not help very much versus the chain lightning, unfortunately, but we're still going to throw it out here just to thin our deck a bit. I'm actually gonna, do I want to just backline it? I think I do want to just backline this gorilla. Because if we're lucky, we draw a blaze next turn. So we'll just backline the. Oh, no cards found. Yeah, that the shaman going to 1. It hurts so much. It messes with the gorilla draw. Man, yeah, shaman going to 1 really changes the deck. All right, yeah, we've got to do some rework here. That. It seemed like such an innocuous change, and I thought that Shaman to 1 wouldn't bother it this much, but it just throws everything a little out of whack. There's the blaze. Okay, good deal. Do we want to do the dispel, or do we want to save? Do we want to just take the clean kill? I'm trying to think if there's any, like owlbears we might want to. Yeah, I think we're just going to go for the dispel. We'll save the destruction for something else, because this is not too much of a threat all on its own here. Okay, we definitely want to get a double block. Do I want to Master at Arms my gorilla? That's an option. Yeah, that's probably our best bet right now. Oof. I may just be dead now. Yeah, not being able to draw a shaman off of that gorilla last turn was kinda rough. Oh, yep, I am just dead. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I did not think shaman was going to affect the deck that much, but it really did change a lot of the little tight synergy I had going on here. So we want to fit Diet Baby, we want to fit Triceratops, we're going to drop Dissipate, and we'd still like to keep the shaman for the possibility of bounce heals, but there is the question of, is there anything we are comfortable taking out to do so? Our 2-drop package is mandatory. This isn't changing. Kai Jr. feels a little too good to take out. Pterodactyl. I suppose technically we don't need to main deck our Pterodactyl, but like now that we're going more Dino Synergy, like, yeah, no, we do. Blaze is way too important in the Swarm matchups. I don't really need Shindaru, but I feel like it's too good to pass up. Yuna's a staple. Yeah, unfortunately, Shaman just made me on the chopping block. I really don't like the idea of running without heal, but if we are the proactive, aggressive deck, that just may be how it goes. Which is a shame, because, you know, now it's no longer like my style of deck that I'm in love with. It's very much more of a aggressive combo list, which is also fun, but you know, I was really enjoying the whole toolbox control angle. But you know, this is fine. I think it's still going to be a solid, fun deck, and leaning a little more into Dinos feels good anyways. I don't think, we don't need the Dinosaur Nest. Well, it's a pretty decent card. Thanks to the bounce engine, we do still have more Dinos than usual. So, alright, well, okay. Now we've got a whole extra win condition with Triceratops and or the Dino curve into evolution. So I think this will be a nice little improvement, and that should address a lot of issues. You know, we're a little more vulnerable to burn and aggro and like scream stacks now, but we can put on more pressure, and we have a lot of early game, so we should be okay pressure-wise versus burn and aggro. The screams matchup is definitely a big concern, but hopefully, you know, our berserk and like Wotan things can help push us through that matchup. Like, so I think this is just kind of what we need to do, and I think it'll be for the best. It's a little bit of a shame that it had to change that way, but that's okay. I still would like to fit the shaman though, but there really is nothing that we can take out to fit shaman. So nope. Proactive it is. Not really my style, but that's okay. It's still a very cool, very fun, synergistic deck. Alright, evolution we like. Now we just need to find some dinos to go with it. We could open with the dino, but I kind of want to hold off and try. So unless we find another dino, I want to save this for like my 6 gold play. If we find another dino, we might. We'll see what happens. If we find another dino, we'll probably play it. We'll still probably save this for the 6 gold play, but you know, then we might get the double evo. Baby dino is often a very nice open, but with evolution in our hand, we're going to save that. Yeah, just lots of peasant gameplay, despite our quite a bit of early game. You know, it's just not showing up, but that's okay. He hasn't been putting the pressure on yet, although this very well may be one of those Screams control decks that I kind of retooled the last deck to beat, because I was running into it a lot yesterday. But yeah, I think just the more proactive approach in general will serve the deck well. I think I've got a very nice... It feels wasteful to play a Yuno right now, but... This is a little tricky. I don't want to just play another peasant. I don't want to play my dinos. Maybe we could just do a 5 gold evolution instead. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. So we'll throw out the baby dino and a peasant, and we're no longer setting up for that like fancy Magmasaur double evolution, but I think that's okay just because this is a much better use of our... I just don't want to waste my Yuno right now. And a turn 5 T-Rex is pretty nice. And I doubt he can clear the Dino and the Raptor this turn. I could alternatively... Yeah, I think maybe we'll hold off. We'll play it a little risky, and we will set up for a bigger Evo next turn. I can also just wait even longer for, like, throwing Pterodactyl in the mix, we'll see. And both of these survive, like, we 100%... Ooh, okay, Witch Doctor. Interesting. So, yep, no, I think we're going to be postponing our evolution further and putting the Pterodactyl down here. Ooh, Choff. It's a little risky. My curve is kind of low now. I don't... Oh, it's... Do I take the risky play or do I take the safe play? It is so tempting to play Joff and pray we get 3 gold for Pterodactyl. But that's such a risk. It's not worth the risk. Is it? Is it worth the risk? Nah, screw it. Okay, we got the gold. Good deal. Setting up for a very nice evolution turn next. Actually, we might have too much stuff to evolve now. But Joff's not living through the turn. I suppose we could just evolution now. Let's see. So 3, 6. Evolution now. I don't know if evolution now is worth it, but screw it. Let's just have fun with the evolution and see what we get. Okay, that worked out pretty well. Grave Knight, solid. Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard for him to answer that on this turn. He Dark Mirror could potentially have gotten him out of this, though. Do I want to just replace this Grave Knight? I think I do. Yeah, actually, replacing this Grave Knight, especially in this matchup, is a really nice little trick here. In fact, oh wait, it's also just game, isn't it? Okay. Alright, well, on-curve evolution continues to be very nasty. I think it is still ultimately a Dino Light deck here, because we are still only running like half the Dino package. We're just running the best half of it. Okay, so we're pretty happy with Kuno Velociraptor. That's a very good thing of what we like seeing. You know, open Velociraptor, replace it shortly after. It does depend though, like backlining the Velociraptor is a little awkward, but you know, we're probably going to end up doing that. Oh, okay, never mind. We do get to frontline the Velociraptor. Very nice. Alright, so considering the matchup we're up against, there's no must-have dispels other than like kind of the Witch Doctor, but the Triceratops is just going to serve us better. Besides, we have Dispel in our deck. And there is said Dispel. Not a clean trade there, but that's okay. Okay, let's see here. Triceratops seems like a decent enough play here. I could alternate. None of it trades in cleanly, which is kind of awkward. I could alternatively just do. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do another Velociraptor Kuno play because that actually gives us a clean trade potential. Triceratops didn't trade right, Velociraptor didn't trade right, didn't want to play a Naked Badger, we're just padding our hand for later here. Do we just deal with this Paladin with the Dispel now, or do we ignore it and... Yeah, okay, I think we ignore it and deal with it next turn. That is the better bet here. Especially when we can just get a Magnosaur out. More Joff temptations here. So we could just do the double Dispel. That's probably our best bet. Because we'll most likely be able to bounce one of those pterodactyls shortly here. My alternative is Joff, but I think I'm just gonna, yeah, let's just go for the double Dispel. It's the cleanest solution to what we have on board. Because he played a, well, no, there's no way we can effectively play around Frost Whirl, unfortunately. We're just gonna have to hope he doesn't have a Frost Whirl. I suppose we could just play the Pterodactyl up a little bit. Yeah, let's just play the Pterodactyl up a little bit, just in case of Frost Whirl. We don't want to just... Well, it's not positioned as aggressively as we'd prefer. That's better than just completely opening ourselves to a Frost Whirl play. And then, you know, being out of Dispels. Okay, good. That Earth Knight is perfect. Do we take the Joff play? I think we take the Joff play. Joff, what do we get? Triceratops? Okay, okay. Liking it so far. I think we know we're coming in to trade here. I think we're going to go ahead and play the Triceratops. Could alternatively go for Yuna, but no, I think Triceratops is too good of a play to do right now. Yeah, okay. The proactive version of the deck is performing very well for itself. I'm just grumpy because I liked my control toolbox setup, but I think this is definitely the way to go. And it's still fun. Like, it's still a great deck. Is that worth... Oh, May Wash and Deruing. I could alternatively do a Uniplay. Uniplay is not too bad. Yeah, we'll do a Uniplay, which will set up for Tyrannosaur pretty nicely next turn. Not the best Uniplay, but that's okay. Alright, is it worth me trying to clear out these tombstones, or do we just want to take the face damage? I think we're going to clear this tombstone, though, just to get a more clear path for Magmasaur. There's the Grave Knight. So my choices are Tyrannosaur or bouncing this unit. Which is a little bit tricky. I could alternatively Shindaru the Grave Knight. There aren't really any other like high priority kill targets in this matchup. A little tricky. Little tricky. Nah, I think we're going to get the unit back to our hand. And yeah, we'll go ahead and Shindaru just because there's really nothing else worth Shindaruing in this matchup. And I think we just push the face damage at this point. I do need to remember I am a much more proactive deck now. I need to be being proactive. Let's see here. Can I get a clean Uniplay? I need to play 2 other cards to get a clean Uniplay, which I can do very nicely with these Raptors, which will then transition into a T-Rex play. Now let's see, at this point we do not want baby dinos anymore. They're way too late in the game for those. I say as I immediately realized they would have curved perfectly after the Una, or in addition to the Una, so I have now immediately made a mistake. Ooh, Magmasaur versus Triceratops. That's tricky, but I think we're going to go for the Triceratops. Dang, I wish I had that baby dino. It would have been so nice. It would have been such a nice addition to the turn, but alas, I did not take my time to think about it. We're in a pretty good position as well. Just we do need to be very aware that End of Days, Screams, and Joanvive are all coming online. Mooncaster's a little bit late. Do we go for the Triceratops? Or do we go for the Tyrannosaur? Tyrannosaur does make these Velociraptors trade into the Joanvive very cleanly. But also, if Tyrannosaur goes first, it's much less clean. And I think we're gonna play it that way. Take out some tombs first. Don't want these raptors going after this Earth Knight, though. So I'm going to pull this raptor up a little bit to clear off one of these tombs. Then we'll Tyrannosaur. And if all goes well, the raptors will... I'm bad at math. Tyrannosaur is a +1 buff, not a +2 buff anymore. So I've messed up. Oh well. That's actually a really bad mistake. And I am off my game today, as I usually am when I'm streaming. I'm such a sloppy player in this position. Ugh, such a bad trade. Oh well, oh well. If we're lucky, Tyrannosaur doesn't live through the turn no matter what, because he's going to trade into the Earth Knight regardless. Alright, well we definitely messed up that turn pretty bad. We should have gone for something else. Oof. Yeah, that turn may cost us. He is low on health though, so like we still got a good chance here. Oh, very good. Tyrannosaur lives through the turn. Good deal. Do we just get the Tyrannosaur back out now? Or do we set up some more dinos? I think we set up some more dinos. Keep them out of reach of this Grave Knight, though, until we are ready for him. Okay, so that'll transition us back into a very nice Tyrannosaur play, unless he can deal with these. I guess he does get to kill one of those with trading all of those in, but you know what, I can live with that. I should have pulled him one space back, so that he couldn't do a clean trade there. But, yet again, my streamer curse continues. Maybe he won't trade into it. That would be awfully nice for us. How kind of him. He is strongly considering not trading into that Triceratops. Freeze is just really unreliable in the ninja matchup. You cannot count on it. Ooh, evolution. That's actually really clean. That is a perfect double T-Rex, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's way too good to pass up. Yeah, I think we're definitely doing that. Beautiful. Do we play this on? Yeah, I think we play this on. That's okay. Yeah, no, more dedicated dinos is serving the deck way better than the toolboxy setup I'd made. Unfortunately, I still defend my toolboxy setup when Shaman was at, you know, 2 cost, 2 health. But ah well, ah well. That evolution was so well timed. Ooh, the Frost Whirl, and I played right into it. Well, I didn't have a lot of control. I had no idea where these Tyrannosaurs were going to end up, but I probably could have positioned the Hassan a little bit better with Frost Whirl as a consideration. It's probably a good Badger play on this Hassan. clean. I think we just set up the Stegosaurus, which will then transition into the baby dino play very nicely, or the Tyrannosaur dino play. Alright, Stego comes with the extra. That actually worked out even better than I was realizing. Okay, yeah, no, more dedicated dinos, definitely the way. And end of days, he just loses to the Tyrannosaur. Well, maybe not, because there'll be some tombstones that might distract the Tyrannosaur. But I think Blaze is too good to pass up right now. We can always save our T-Rex play for a little bit later. Now, do we set up the Son and the baby? I think we set up the Son and the baby. Baby gives us end of days protection. Well, looks like that's game. Alright, well, our adjustments are definitely a pretty large improvement. You know, the Dino package is, really strong. It was kind of a shame when I'd moved away from it in the first place. I'm very much more of a toolboxy control player, so I wanted to try and make that angle work. It worked a lot better when I had the Shaman, but this is still a very fun, very proactive angle that, utilizes the dinos a little bit better. It's just mounted Triceratops is practically another win condition. The early curved evolution, yeah, no, this is going well. We utterly lack healing, which makes me uncomfortable, but that's alright. That's alright. Let's grab another game or two, though, just because, we're practically on a new deck here halfway through the stream. Okay, so Raptor Kuno, we love to see. Now we want to try and dig out that evolution. Do we want to coin? I don't really want to coin because I like saving that for the Uniplay, but I think setting up for the early Velociraptor Kuno play is going to be nice. We are a proactive deck, we need to play proactively. Kuno's a very nice trade into Peasant, so continuing with the Kuno Raptor tricks. They are very nice. little bit of an awkward time. I think Magmasaur is still the play, just it's not the cleanest use of Magmasaur. I may consider actually sniping the trading post for the early Blaze pickup, just because in the Tomb matchup specifically, there's a lot of cards that you can steal that really mess them up. The Joff Temptations again. I mean, we're going to take it. The Joff Temptations are... Ooh, okay, that even leaves us enough for the Pterodactyl. Yeah, that's pretty clean. I think we... clean this off, take the very nice trades here. Okay, it's a pretty good Blaze turn. Yeah, I don't think there's any option that's better than Blaze and see what happens with that trade. Ooh, Grave Knight, that's a very nice pull. And I think we set up the Triceratops here. I could alternatively Badger up this Pterodactyl. That's a little tricky. I think we'll just take the Badger play is tempting. Again, in this matchup, is there anything we really wanted to spell? And if I play the no, okay, no, we're just going to take it. We're going to get the Triceratops out, which will let us put more face damage on. Being very conscious of where I'm leaving tombstones, I like to block his front summoning area, and I like to avoid blocking the squares in front of his castle. That was an odd trade for him to make. I guess he was just really afraid for his castle health there. I think this is way too good of a Grave Knight turn to pass up. He's taking his time over there. Like, that Grave Knight was pretty crippling, so I don't blame him for trying to think of a good out here. Let's see here. So we know we're going to be replacing one of these two. Just not sure which yet. I think I'm replacing the Grave Knight just so I can use him again here. That's kind of crippling in this matchup. Do I just push the damage, or do I clean things up real nice and tidy here? I think we just clean things up. Don't need to be in a rush. Not sure if he disconnected or if he just is conceding there. For Jacob, I really need a good litmus test for this deck. I need to fight Jay, Beastly, or another one of my strong competition items to really give the new version of this deck a bit of a litmus test here. Oh, Red Master. Okay, okay. Solid opponent here. Alright, so we like Joff. We don't need either of these this early in this matchup. Kai Jr. we like, because there are a lot of building shenanigans in those colors. Okay, pretty solid. Why are you guys so mean to Red? Looks like he's also on Dinos. Do we coin? I don't know if it's worth coining. I don't think it's worth coining. We're just gonna hang tight. Alright, well then let me rephrase the question. Why are you so mean to Red? Okay, let's see here. Gorilla plays pretty respectable. It's not a clean trade with the con artist, but that's okay. I think we're still going to go for it here. Just gonna pull it. We're gonna sacrifice our supply depot to just pull it out of reach of that con artist for the moment. Especially in this matchup, like supply depot is gonna die to burn damage anyways. Alright, so let's see what we got going on this chart. We could do a coin Magmasaur play. I was kind of trying to save off on the coin for either Uno or an early Joff, though. I could just take out this baby Dino, though. which may be the way to go. Good. Guerrilla Fighter again as well. Let's try this. Let's take out the baby dino and play another gorilla, which will then set us up for a nice coined Joff next turn. Little awkward, but that's okay. Oh good, the raptor killed the one we wanted it to kill. Could alternatively not coin the Joff and just Magnusor off the Con Artist. We'll have to see what happens here. Yeah, okay, maybe we just Magnusor and hold off on the Joff for the moment. There's nothing we really need to rush ramp into at this particular second. Stocking up on dwarfs and knights there, which is pretty valid. I'm sure he's doing some evolution tricks over there. Alright, well, it's definitely a Joff turn, because there's nothing else we really want to play right now. Mooncaster. Well, better than losing one of the actual win conditions, but he is one of our big enablers. I think, yeah, we need to clear this baby dino out of here before evolution shows its face. Now, do we just hang tight with this gold, or do we throw out our own baby dino or something? No, I think we're pretty happy with what we got going on right now. We're just going to let this trade happen. Flame Knights here. Well, we managed to save this coin for so long. We very well may be doing just a nice little Una play here. The rest of my hand's a little awkward, but I think we're going to be setting up the Una regardless. So coin, mounted Triceratops, baby dino. And a nice big Una. No Mooncaster to go with it, but that's okay. That's still just a devastating amount of stats, and it's the turn before, you know, End of Days or Eye of Flame, so it's a good turn to be doing that. Because from every turn from here on out, that starts to be kind of a high-risk play. Although, Red answered it very well there. Pretty good Blaze turn. I want to save at least one of these Kai Juniors for the inevitable Eye of Flame. Let's see here. Hands being a little awkward here. This sacrificial knife's clogging us up. We could play a Kai Jr. But then... yeah, this cleave is making this turn a little bit. I mean, we could just throw out a Tyrannosaur. It's not great, but the other options aren't better. And we're just gonna Tyrannosaur and see where that takes us. He doesn't have the clear on board. If he invests his entire field and a spell, that's a win for us. If he leaves the Tyrannosaur alive, you know, that opens us up to lots of cool possibilities. Ooh, Joan-Vive, ouch, okay. That's about the one thing I didn't want to see in response to this Tyrannosaur, but that's okay. Still a pretty heavy investment for him to get rid of that, so that works out for us. Do we want to just do some bounce Magmasaur? Yeah, let's see what we can snipe from this post and then make our decisions. Angel War, okay, not bad. Do I want to bounce the Magmasaur? I don't know. That's a little tricky there. No, I think we're just going to hang tight with our Magmasaur and just play some other items and see where that takes us. Because that's a clean trade with the Paladin, and with the Joan-Vive, that lets us finish Joan-Vive off with a Kunoichi pretty easily, so we're good with that. Red's definitely holding his own. He's doing well here. We had, you know, slow start. We haven't gotten much in the way of our big fancy combos here. Red just cleaning up. Oh, he left the Kai Jr. alive. That's a little surprising. Do I take the Woden play, or do I just do the Angel of War? Leaning towards the Angel of War here. I think we're going to maybe bounce Kai. Okay, I think that's the play. Tricky, actually. Although there's a new bug that we could abuse. Apparently if we bounce a charge unit that's attacked, do we abuse, let's actually, yeah, I'm curious about something. This might be a bug. I'm not sure if I'm abusing a mechanic or not, but I'm about to find out something a little funky here. So does this work again? If this works again, you know, I'm going to report it because I'm not sure if this is a bug or not. Do I get? I do. Okay. So that did work. Not sure if I'm cheating or not by doing that. I think I'm just going to go report that now to find out whether I should be doing that on purpose. But my health is getting pretty low here. I am in a bit of trouble just with Joan-Vive punching away back there, him cleaning up that field so well. I may be losing anyways, even abusing a bug. Alright, let's see here. So we know we gotta play a Righteous Paladin here to not just die. Yeah, so I think we Paladin that, and then we... A little bit tricky. If I don't get something ready to answer that Joan-Vive, I'm in trouble, so we're gonna block the Peasant. play the Kunoichi just to secure our block a little bit. We're probably losing this game anyways. Because that well-timed Jonevive has really put the hurt on. But yeah, I've gotta put out these blocks and to try and get a Wotan to clear out that Jonevive, or we're probably dead anyways. But we're doing our best here. We're doing our best here. Oh, okay. Well, that's just game. Well played from red. Well played from red. We just didn't find any of our cool tricks, and we just kind of had a handful of replace that whole game, which happens. Alright, so we're up against Ninja Pirates. I'm going to keep the blades. Toss the Triceratops for now. Now, just in case of rats, I'm going to hang on to this blaze. Peasant warfare time. I'm not sure what we're up against. It could just be contraband. It could be rats. It could be dragons. Dragons do kind of work with contraband. Alright, so Guerrilla Fighter to counter out that Shadow Drake.
Very dangerous life totals.
And they're both just so burn heavy, like, oh, this is stressful to watch.
It is. It absolutely is. And we throw it back to Unity here, who...
That was not a good trade from Mudbone. I feel a little bad for him. That was a bit of a very unfortunate misplay there. If he'd have just played that knight up one square, he would have had the opportunity to use that elusive a little more. This may be our last game for the day. We've been at this for a while, and despite that, we ended up drastically reworking the deck halfway through, and it hasn't been our best of runs. I still think it's been a good time. I think the deck's in a good spot. And while we've had a little bit of bad luck, I still think I've showed off what the deck can do, and that it's pretty fun and solid. Hey Red, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, that was a good game we had. That really well-timed Jonevive was about the only thing that was going to tilt it in your favor, but the second she showed up, there was nothing I could do to really recover there. Okay, so I'm starting to smell some rats here. So we're going to clear off these buildings. Ooh, Jutsu, okay. Well, we're definitely going to play the Kai Jr. either way, just because we need to start clearing off some of these threats here. I don't have the... Oh, I do have another Kai Jr. Yep, alright, just double Kai with a potential bounce next turn. Games have been a little bit all over the place. I started the stream today with the deck in kind of weird position because the Shaman going to 1 gold like really messed up the setup I had. So my first couple games were not going well. I didn't think the Shaman change was going to mess with the deck as much as it did, but so about halfway through the stream, I ended up just completely retooling the deck to more of a proper Dino focus, and now it's doing really well for itself, barring my loss to you. But my loss to you, I think, was just, it was a really good game, and you just got the slightly better hand than I did. It could have gone either way. I don't think that was either my fault or the deck's fault. You played well, you had a good deck, and you got a good hand. We've got a pretty nice Wotan play here, but the downside going for Wotan is it's just going to immediately get gibbed by the Southport Slayer. So with that in mind, I think we're just going to... Okay, well, we definitely want to kill the Southport Slayer. So I think that's what we're... Okay, so kill the Slayer. Clear this. Bounce our dude and kill off that Hassan. Yeah, Knight Evolution's pretty cool. I have a tiny dash of that. I only have one Knight in my deck, Joff, but like, still, like, evolving Joff is fun too. There, let's see. Now's a pretty good Wotan turn. Or actually, no, it's kind of... I think Shindaru's too good to pass up right now. So we'll Shindaru. We'll come on in. We'll get our Velociraptor going here. Ooh, we found an extra Tyrannosaur. Very nice. Just craft your Joff. Craft your Joff. You're a beta tester and a red team dev and like a sponsored professional streamer. You can afford a Joff. I think we're just gonna Kudo this Velociraptor just to keep that Dino momentum up here. I think we are probably going to make this our last game for the day here. And we'll just review the final draft of the deck to close out. Alright, so now might be the Wotan turn. But, no, I think the Magmasaur is the better play. I keep wanting to play my Wotan, and he keeps doing stuff. Alright, well, now we're moving you up. You're moving you up. I think Triceratops is our best play. Just keeping the pressure up. Alright, is it finally our Wotan turn now? Or is it evolution time? I think it's evolution time. Dang it! We're never going to get to play our Wotan, but that's okay. This is a really good evolution turn. Let's see, math. That's 2 T-Rexes with 1 evolution to spare, so now let's just... I don't think there's any reason to play the Velociraptor first. Because if I play the Velociraptor first, I might get 0 T-Rexes, which would ruin our guaranteed win here. So, evolution time. Then we throw down the Velociraptor at the end of that. And wait, that wasn't 2 T-Rexes? Could have sworn that should have been 2 T-Rexes. What did I miss? Hold on. We had a Stegosaur. Oh, right, because evolution's down to 8, not 10 anymore. That's right. Yeah, okay, that's correct. That's perfect. Okay, so even better that I didn't play this Velociraptor. Okay, well, pretty happy with this take of the deck. It's definitely improved from this morning, although I'm not saying it's improved since last night, but the game has changed since last night. So, very happy with where this list ended up. It's got all kinds of cool little tricks going. It's still kind of a Dino light list, still only running about half of the Dino cards, but we are running the best half of the Dino cards. We've got cool replace shenanigans, getting a lot of extra dinos out of Velociraptor, or replacing the Tyrannosaur lets you do cool things with the replace Berserk interaction. You've got the very nasty, just, kind of on-curve dinos, which are brutal with Triceratops or the evolution. You've got lots of control between Pterodactyl, Shindaru, bouncing pterodactyls, getting extra pterodactyls off of Raptor. It's got a lot of, it's got a really nice proactive low curve with great building answers, great swarm answers, little tiny dasher ramp, nice little in-game clear, and can push out in-game damage. The only things it's lacking, of course, are healing, which makes me very uncomfortable as a player because I am very much a control toolbox mid-rangey player, and this is now an aggressive combo deck, which is cool. Like I'm down for that. That's a fun approach. But I'm very happy with where it landed up. I think it's got potential to be a top deck, but it's not. Dinos are far from oppressive or broken anymore. They're just really fun, really cool, and in a really good space. I think we're going to call it a day there. I'll be posting this in Showcase soon with a write-up for the most recent version, and thanks for stopping by, everyone. If I can find how to turn off my stream now. Alright, have a good day.